So, 451s, 4 drawings. Let's see how they're doing. I've filled these up last week, or early this week. I guess early this week. I don't even know. It's all a blur. I had 4 cedar blue 51s. Filled them up with ink. Then filled them up with different ink. And I'm just looking at the drawings I did with them over the course of the day. Not the day, the few minutes actually. This was the gold fill without signet. That's this one. And let's see how it wants to write today. So we've got these big cranes outside our front door now, and they're chewing up the land and building something new. And I went outside and I drew them with these self-same aforementioned 51s. And it's very odd. I'm just learning something. Well, or marking on it maybe for the first time. When I draw with a 51, I often will flip it over and use the, quote, fine side rather than the broad side, upside down rather than the downside up. I mean, you know what I mean. I flip it over, so I'm writing on the top of the nib, not on the bottom of the nib. And there's something really, really neat about the very, very fine line that you get using those. And somehow when I start drawing with the broad side, I think of the underside as being kind of like a pencil sketch before I do the inking. Is that what I'm thinking? What is my brain trying to tell me? So anyway, here's this one. I like the fact that it has a difference between the front side and the back side. I thought it's a really nice contrast. Let's try a different one here. Put that away. Gold fill with signet. Luster alloy. Well, we'll do the luster alloy since that's here. Okay, these were 2 trucks outside at the construction site. One was some crane kind of a thing. The other one was just a butch pickup truck. But as you can see by the drawing of them both together, that the butch pickup truck is hardly butch compared to the big butch beefy crane truck that you need a stepladder to get into. This one, how is this different from the first one, Pierre Gustafson? Try to explain that to the folks at home. There was also this crane that had a big hooky thing on a weight with 2 little strappy things. I know that you probably think that I'm being rather non-specific about what I call things, but I'm not a construction person. I don't know what they're called. Strappy things. Maybe they're just called straps. You know, what is this thingy? I was at a plumbing store trying to find a little pipe part that would go to my dishwasher 35 years ago. And I asked the plumbing supply person, I need one of these thingies. And the friend that was with me laughed and said, thingy. Like that wasn't technical enough a term to talk to a plumber behind a plumbing supply store clerk. And I said, okay, what do you call it, smarty boots? And he's never forgotten that. And I was wondering, do I call them smarty boots or smarty pants? And I went with smarty boots, which his Italian niece and nephew enjoyed. They got a kick out of that when I was at their wedding and his wedding. And we translated it into intelligente scarpone. And they just giggled in glee. Strappy thingies. I'm just trying to remember how I got on this little tangent. So this one, the other one wanted me to draw only on the downside, upside down side, the thin side. And this one, I'm sort of going easily between the two without really noticing that I'm doing it. It's like shifting gears in a car. Wesky Squirrel can tell you how well I do that. I hadn't driven a Standard in a long time, and I was driving him around Minneapolis, and I kept on, I was on the highway in first gear. He said, "You can shift now." He's very polite to his chauffeur. He was petrified of driving in Minneapolis, so let's have a chauffeur that doesn't know how to get into second gear, let alone fourth. But anyway, this, I can sort of go from one to the other really easily with this pen, where the other one, yes, it's the same amount of work that goes from, I don't know, maybe there's a scratchiness or something to one of them. I'm not really sure what the issue is. Okay, try a different one. Let's see. Sterling capped. Okay, this is the one that I later discovered, or in trying to make the pen work better, because it was very stingy with the ink, I was switching shells and found the shell that worked really well, but it was broken and filed down, so there's more nib showing on this one. So this is not how it was when I was originally drawing this scene. But what was interesting about this particular drawing was there was a lot of residuals, greenish gray ink, which is still in it. Even though I've sort of filled it up with other colors, there's just a lot of whatever the ink was in it. So, this is an experiment for you at home. Fill 4 pens, 4 very similar, pick your most similar pens you have, and fill them up with the same color ink, and try to discern the differences between them, among them. Because, if I have a big fancy sterling silver overlay pen, and I have a Parker Duofold, and I have a Parker 51, and I have and they all have different color inks, I'm so easily distracted by the color and the size and the shape and the whatever of the pen, and I get away from what happens from here out and look from here back. So sometimes, if you make from here back be all the same, you then notice the differences among the personalities of the pen better. I went to a private high school when I was growing up, and we had to wear a uniform. It wasn't a military uniform, it was a civilian one. A tie, a shirt, pair of charcoal gray pants, sort of a almost black, dark charcoal gray blazer, blue shirt, light blue shirt, blue, gray, and black wide striped, diagonal striped tie. Our jackets had a little crest. Honor God and country. Breck, it said. Breck, I think. Or Breck, I don't really remember. And was it divided into three? There's a cross. Honor God and country. I don't know how the country, anyway, it had a lamp of learning, a cross, and something else. Maybe I don't know what it was, come to think of it. Wore it for 6 years. Tell me, Pierre, what was I going to go? Anyway, everyone had to wear the same outfit. So if they had gone to a public school, Blanche would have had that fancy mini skirt on, and Francine would go with the slack suit and the whatever, and the kids would all be, various kinds of jeans and sweaters and whatever they put on. But because we all wore the same thing, all our outsides were the same, I could really tell from a block off, well, that's so-and-so, because not so much of his hairdo, but it was sort of his posture, or her posture. And the personality of the uniform wearer was much more obvious because of the fact that all the uniforms looked alike. So if you have a bunch of pens that are the same, do me a favor, fill them up all with black ink, or pick some color you like, and draw with them or write with them for a while. And if they're all fine nib pens, write with all the fine nib ones. Try to make the 4 you choose, or 3. Do 3. As exactly similar as possible, and then see how they're different. This one wants me to write on the dark side of the moon, on the fatter side. I don't know why. Why does it do that? See, I haven't figured it out yet. Why does this want me to write like this? Yes, I can flip it over. It's just the dark side is maybe so wet. It just wants me to make this drawing very dark, full of anger. What are your thoughts about this experiment? Do the experiment. Yeah, it's a stupid idea you're saying. I can hear you right now, but try it out and see if it tells you something about your grouping of 3 or 4 identical pens. Ignore the cap differences. These would be perfectly fine if they all were. What, am I doing the wrong thing here? Yes, I am. Bad, Pierre, bad. This pen goes on this drawing. See what happens when I'm talking to you? I get distracted. It's a good thing I'm not talking to you on the phone in a car. It's not holding the phone that gets people into accidents. It's talking to someone who isn't in the car. I'm doing it again. See? Stop.